through some technical issues. Hey Tim, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. And we're doing something a little bit different today. We're not going to be on Streamyard tonight. We're back on Streamlabs to see how this goes again. Okay, so when you jump on, let us know. You do need to be a subscriber to jump in here at the moment. So let's see what's happening. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. Let's see what's going on. Refresh chat. No viewers. Who's going to be first? What have we got here? Hello? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Hey, there we go. Happy Hobo. Lanky Wanderer. How's it going, Kaz? Joshy Fawns. G'day, buddy. We're trying something a little bit different tonight, guys. If you're watching at the moment and you actually can't put anything in the comments, that's because you have to be a subscriber now. That's fair enough. Subscribe, and when you do, let's see if people jump up on the screen. I'm going to get rid of that chat box there. We'll navigate through in a second. I'll tell you what's going down. Chat box, you can go off at the moment. Simon Powell, g'day, mate. See, Simon, I'm trying to make a difference again. We've got the swamp water in the background. We've got Dutters here in the background. We've got Jennifer G from up north. How are we? I don't think I'm going to need this at the moment. There you go. Ears on full display. The lesbian ghoul. Mate, give us a thumbs up if it's 40 degrees where you are. It is in the Bronx here. And we're about to be talking tonight about 2025. Change is coming. Change is coming for this channel. Change is probably coming for you as well. What's it going to look like? Let's see. Happy Hobo people are freaking out over the drones in New Jersey. And it's just the XP4 Navy Air Force drone that switches from a quad prop dance drone to a plane. I've seen it jumping up on the screens, but I don't know what it's about. You know, to tell you the truth. Hey Adam, how you going, mate? We'll see you there. We'll do a little bit of a show around on what's going on the screen at the moment. By rights, when you jump on the screen now, if you subscribe or anything that happens, it should be coming up with the alerts. We're into Streamlabs. We've been able to get back onto that. And I've been paying for it for 5 years and haven't been using it. The Lanky Warrior was 40 degrees but has cooled to a nice 36 at the moment. Well, it's almost beach time. We know the heat is on, and also in your Wallace as we get ready for Christmas, it's the time for giving and it's getting more expensive. KC, how you going, buddy? How you going? Let's see if someone unsubscribed and subscribe again, and let's see if it comes back on, if the alert comes on for you. Not bad, mate. The ocean keeps the heat away. It's $60 just to go to the beach from here in Western Sydney, mate. Out of control. Yeah, Josh, the aircon, I can hear the bill going up from here, mate, in Western Sydney. Simon, if you can, unsubscribe from the channel, then subscribe again and see if the alerts go off, mate. To tell you the truth, although this looks good from a distance, it's not as easy to stream this way as what it is with StreamYards, but StreamYards doesn't seem to do as good a job. What's going here? This may not be a very long one tonight because it's not that enjoyable from this side of the screen. You there, Simon? Yeah, unsubscribed. Okay, subscribe again and let's see if you come up on the screen, mate. We've been on the. We've actually been on Patreon all day today. talking to the guys and gals. And there's been a lot of good news, to tell you the truth. And last night we had our very first full group Patreon live conversation. Went for about an hour and a half or so. It was really good. What do you think of being a parachute rigger as a job? Mate, it's not even really a military job, man. It's not. There we go, subscribed. There you go, team. So it did work. I'm going to turn this off in the background. This, where are we? I'll turn that off for a moment. So it did work. I'm just getting no sound here at all. I don't know if it's anyone's first time here, but yeah, Duffy, here you go, mate. So let us know, team, what is going on in 2025 for you? Is there going to be big changes? Here's something you might not have thought about that's probably coming your way. From now on, by the way, team, if you become a member, we're 20 off having the 200 members we're hoping to have for the channel. Subscribers, we're hoping to get 200 in the next 14 days. Unlikely to happen. Raw chicken allowance. Any donations naturally will go towards my my daughter's now. What would you call it? Her university, as maybe she becomes a teacher when she's a bit older. Here we go. Here's something for you. Bam. Thoughts on starting a second channel. Happy Hobo. Also, Kaz, have you heard about Elon Musk taking crap about the F-35, saying that 1 pound payload of drones? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't worry me, mate. Elon Musk is right on almost everything he talks about, so he's a much smarter man than me. Blakey Smith says, hey, Kaz, thanks for the chat today. My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. He's got some robust shoulders on him there. Old Blakey Smith, he comes for a robust conversation, and he's very welcome. And Joshy Fawn's fitness goals for 2025. Well, that's an interesting one. I'm hoping to get back over 50 push-ups again, but if my wrist can take it, maybe get back into running. I'd like to get into, there we go. Someone has just subscribed. Let's put the alerts over the very top here. Where are we? Sorry, guys, this is the first time we've used this one for a long time. Okay, now it's at the top. Who did we get? John Maurice has subscribed. Can we get some thumbs up for John? You're very welcome, mate. Let us know a little bit about yourself, and we're happy to have you here. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get into the water again, to tell you the truth, team. I'm hoping to get in the water. I'm hoping to be able to do a little bit of boogie boarding through the summer, through the winter, and hopefully what that does is passively gets our fitness back up. Because once it falls to a certain level, you can't turn the engine back on. We've got a video coming out soon on wisdom from a 50-year-old talking down to a 20-year-old, not talking down to, because you're probably taller than me, on things that you can do right now that can change your life forever. You know? Using a bit of common sense, etc. So this, I don't know if this is even working. Don't know if that's working. Wait a sec, Tim. We're just doing some calibrations here. Okay, change come. Yep. So it seems to be working there. Edit. It's an absolute mess with this setup at the moment. Yeah, there we go. I'm wondering if you can see the whole picture. We've got the guys all starting to head home, all across the military too at the moment. So we're starting to get a hell of a lot of phone calls that are occurring, which is a good thing. And unfortunately, we've got some young people that are very, very bored at the moment. because they've left home as a kid, gone home as an adult, and at the moment, nothing to do. No car, and they don't know what to do with their time. Limited money, resources, etc. Wait a second, Tim. Wait a second. I'm not trying to be clunky here for you, Tim. Where are we? Here we go. How's the audio, by the way? How's the audio and the visual? There's no jumping around. I'm trying to do all this to give you a better viewing experience, so to speak. Life is pretty good here. I'm trying to stay as positive as possible. I'm about to go crazy with having my daughter with me, permanently for a long time now. And she's got that stage where the ex is getting ready to go through menopause, I think, and the daughter's getting ready to go through puberty at the same time. So I'm going to be in for all sorts of trouble. We've got bowerbird prospecting, salt water and earth your feet, mate, and have a low carb beer once at home. Yeah, I'm pretty well agree with that. We've got something else here too you haven't seen for a long time. Where are we?
Not soon, Carl.
There we go, it's been a while.
I accept.
And the other one you haven't seen for a while. Dave, fantastic conversation last night, mate.
Feed him a mother-in-law.
Well, great to have you.
That should make him happy.
It was a pleasure.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. The video's good, says Simon Powell. Fantastic. How's the audio? Just learned how tough the Wehrmacht were, the Germans. No, didn't. Sorry, Hobo saying no, he ain't. Elon's a daddy's money child. You're Hobo. You are absolutely wrong, mate. You. How do you manage to be wrong every time, bro? No one can say Elon Musk is not intelligent as fuck. He's just created at the moment what looks like is the state-of-the-art fastest AI on Earth. He's got his rocket company at the same time that he's got Starlink, at the same time he's got Tesla. His dad didn't do a single one of those things. This is all him. I don't think any of us are qualified to call Elon Musk dumb here, mate. If I had like 1,500 people, yep, that's called business, mate. That's called business. There's nothing wrong with that if it means that the business is going forward. It can happen in militaries. It can happen in restaurants when times are tough or when we streamline services. That's the way it is. Business, it's not personal. He invented PayPal as well. Yep. Yeah, very intelligent dude. What have you invented, Happy Hobo, to give you the authority on that? Jennifer G, building SpaceX launch pad near Bowen. I didn't know that, Jen. Mate, the fact that he can be the chief executive engineer and make a rocket that's like 17 or 22 stories high come back and land on its own launch pad inside the calipers of the gantry, incredible. I think young people in this world are going to be so excited to see not only a change in world's view of life, but also seeing that the evolution of technologies. It's going to be crazy from a military perspective that the chances of war are going to be lessened, that training in some ways is reduced in the stresses by being motorised, mechanised, etc., looking after domestic shores rather than projecting as allies as part of the military war machine or complex, and being able to have an entire career. Now, we need some change to occur. We need some dinosaurs to leave the market, so to speak, in a lot of areas. But if we can have a happier world and we can have a safer world and we can get common sense back on the agenda, I think we're in for a good time. Now, I put this up here before about the poll about potentially having a second channel, if not starting a new channel. And the reason why I say that is because we've got so many people that have made it into the military. This is not really a place they might feel like they need to come back to once they've actually achieved their goal of getting to where they're going to. I don't know if this is working or not. Have a crack at that, see if it works, team. I don't know if it does or not, Simon. But it would be good to have a video thought experiment with you guys to see what you would like to see more of, rather than just military asking and telling the same people the same questions over and over again that you've heard already. So whether it be about reactions, whether it be about knowledge, whether it be about historical things, whether it be about stories, that are created, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, Adam. Yep. So am I sometimes. Sometimes I'm over my skates and I get caught out as well. Dave. For those that don't know, I started to discuss it before. Basically, what happened was we had a get together last night with the Patreon, and so what happened is the people on Patreon now on Wednesdays and also on Sundays, we're going to have an hour and a half get-togethers where it's not recorded, it's not uploaded, so anyone can get on there, show their face, or sit in the back play. You just have to be a paid Patreon member. It's not free members, team. Time's worth money, So become a member of the Black Legion in Patreon, and then from there, not only do you get open to the conversations one-on-one on the bat phone we have here, but what also occurs is you can come to the Wednesday or Sunday sessions. Last night's was the pilot. It went very well. We had everyone obeying common sense and courtesy to each other. I was actually quite surprised with the amount of professional people that turned up. Some military, some people that have moved on from military and that are successful now in the corporate industry. It was really, really good. Thank you to all of those that turned up. We've got Happy Hobo. Kaz, you give me the feeling that you call people liberals without knowing the meaning. I am a little bit liberal myself, mate. But I also don't need a definition on everything I say. Yep. I don't need a definition on it. Righto? But I can call a spade, and if you call Elon Musk dumb, mate, then I'd love to see what your invention list is yourself. And I didn't call anyone a liberal either. So don't put words in my mouth, sir. Hobo, you always seem to be on the wrong side, of, the conversation at times. Send surplus equipment to Ukraine that costs money to maintain or dismantle. I don't believe we should be saying sending anything to Ukraine, to tell you the truth, mate, other than potentially aid. That's what I reckon. Yep. I've got a lot of compassion for the people that are suffering in Ukraine at the moment. It's just like I have for the conscripted people from Russia that are losing their lives too. We want all that to come to an end. We need peace. And hopefully that's some of the change that happens in 25. And I think that's going to be a great litmus test of Donald Trump to see if he actually comes through of what he's talking about. I'd love to see, similar to 38th parallel, open up between Ukraine and Russia. Let them have the Donbas regions. Let them have the access to the Dead Sea. I don't put a treaty in there for 100 years, and then let a whole bunch of money from NATO that would have been spent on weapons and Russia on invasions, and get that spent on the rehabilitation, and the assistance and the medical attention required for the Ukraine fighters, and people. What are we? Simon says, Happy Hobo, it seems like you are here to criticise everyone. Do you require a timeout to have a think about it? Give me a smirk and say, no, you're wrong. My favourite orange criminal said, I'm right. Whatever, mate. Whatever, Dave D, Ukraine will need carpenters, plumbers, and bricklayers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hobo, you're the only one that continually turns up here and makes a fool of yourself, mate, to tell you the truth. Righto? You know, I know that you've got, you and I have spoken before. I also know that you've got some things in the background that maybe you don't understand exactly where you're coming from yourself or the way you're being perceived. But you chill out, bro. Well said, Kaz, but Ukraine wants 1991 borders. The thing is, Joshy, I don't think anyone is actually going to get exactly what they want. You know, so it's going to have to be stop the bleeding from both sides and then get security from an independent force, you know, in between them, which that there's not hostilities towards, and then from there come up with a deal, you know. Just hold there, I'm cooking popcorn. I can almost smell it from here, Bowerbird. I love it. Pro First Amendment. We actually don't have it, do we? Navy veteran, look at the end of the day, keep me out of it. That's right, Navy veteran. You know, the closer people have been to conflict, normally the further they want to be away from it in life. Because the things you see, you know, you can't get rid of those out of your mind, and you don't want them revisiting you like a nightmare through the rest of your life. And a lot of us know what that's about. You know, the sea is dangerous to everyone involved too, isn't it? Their Navy veteran who's getting a very, very big change in 2025, aren't you, mate? You know, very exciting to tell you the truth. His feet are about to touch the ground and stay there. You know? What else we got? We've got all the guys at Singo that have left now. They've gone home. So they've got around the 7-week mark where they've got to go back. And a lot of guys are going back straight to a BFA. You know, straight to a BFD, which is a basic fitness diagnostic to see if they're ready to go back into session. And if they are ready to go back into session, apparently there's well over 100 of them. So there's going to be some that are left in holdover, and there's going to be those that pull the fat cord, you know, or maybe don't do the PT over the Christmas break, and they're about to learn just how brutal the army can be, you know, if you turn up back to work and you're not fit. Because at the start of every year, we do our compulsory lessons. Okay, we learn about self-harm awareness. Okay, we go into the SOPs for the year, what's expected from the year, okay, our OH&S requirements, you know, and how to treat each other. And a whole bunch of new people with new ranks walk into the unit, and everyone tries to change the shop front for a little while. Okay, one sec. Happy Hobo. Kaz, what are you saying? We'll let Russia have territory in 2014. Yep, I know that. You remind me of Neville Chamberlain letting Germany take land because they promised they won't in the future. No, mate. I just want the blood to stop, and I want the fighting to stop so that people can come to the table and understand that ground taken, you know, might have to be kept in order to allow future fighting to stop and maybe a 100-year treaty to occur. I would love to actually be able to be in a position where I could speak to someone from the Ukraine and have a conversation with them and say, hey, look, would you be willing to, you know, go to the peace table with these sort of things? What do you think would be a solution? Because those gallant fighters in eastern Ukraine, you know, they'd be talking about solutions to this problem all the time in the absence of potentially Wi-Fi, in the absence of having time, having comfort, etc. So a lot of answers would come from the guys in the trenches, and they deserve, you know, a right to speak because, you know, they're doing a gallant job and they're doing a lot of sacrificing too. Blake says, Hobart's fine to disagree, but you must treat the other side with respect. Kaz and I have had disagreements, however, we have treated each other respectfully as adults do, which also means that Blake didn't see me crying. Joshy Fawn says, okay, says he's a wanker. Yep. Jelena, how you going from WA, my friend? You know, you always see you there. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I know the time, it makes it hard for you, mate, and I'm sorry for that. Well, this poll doesn't seem to be working, so I'll get that off there. That was a work in progress. Adam, we do have the First Amendment. We have the right to political speech, which means we can't go on the streets with it. Adam, we do have... No, we don't, Hobo. We don't have freedom of speech, mate, in Australia. We think we do. We don't. Navy veteran. Yeah, scared to be at an army base for that long. Going to miss my soft life with the Navy. I'd miss the ocean, mate. I absolutely love the water. Deployments, to be honest, but time to pass on the mantle to young bloods, absolutely. Adam, what is my milk crate? I don't know. Because you'd be perfect for the army. Just follow orders, mate. Hobo, I'd love to give you a microphone, mate, so we can actually see what you do stand for. Do you stand for something, or are you just a contrarian and you like to say the opposite or start shit? You know? I forget how old you are, you know, or what motivates you. Is it you're just not happy at the moment? I don't know. But you're the only person that seems to be the village idiot continually at this channel, mate. Guys, you know, it's a bit weird. We're coming up close to Christmas. This year just doesn't feel the same, does it? It doesn't feel the same. And this is what I'd say, put a thumbs up, or, okay, put a 10 if you think 2025 is going to be different, and put a 0 if you think it's going to be worse than 2024. Because I'm actually quite happy with 2024. You know, it wasn't the best for me in a lot of ways. But having number 47 coming back to the White House, I really hope that he has conversations with people that were dead set against him, and actually talks to them and says, "Let me change your mind with my actions." You know, and I'd love to see that. I love his policies. I want to see the pipeline open up again. I want trade to go to Mexico, so that they're proud again as a nation, so they want to stay there. Right, so that they want to go back in, and maybe the power of the cartels will be taken away, and the people can start to trade with the USA and give themselves a chance to make Mexico great again as well. The First Amendment is a part of the USA Constitution. Yep. Jack Albert George. Hey, Jack, how you going, mate? Evening all. I think the best way to get this chat started would be for people to give constructive feedback in their chats, rather than based on insults and attacks behind your anonymity. Yep, totally agree. We don't have freedom of speech, Hobo. As good as our Constitution is, they miss that. Yep, and if you think you had freedom of speech, mate, you've forgotten what happened in with COVID, mate. And Hobo, no, we don't. We don't have it. As a tactical milk crate, the best self-defense weapon in Australia. Yep, I like that. I've fallen through a few of them playing arsehole and out in field environments too. Bowerbird prospecting, 10 to block, Hobo. Constitutional law, the High Court of Australia has ruled the freedom of political communication is an implied right that's essential to a representational government. You know that you cannot say anything about our First Nation people, about what's happening. We are completely gagged on that. We're gagged on government policy on a whole bunch of things, mate. Australia, like England, you can get the police come to your door and take you away based on a comment on Facebook that doesn't imply violence. We're either training to become already are warriors, not keyboard warriors. That'd be a good t-shirt. Jenny, this year went ridiculously quick. My eldest son turned 35 yesterday. Happy birthday, Jen. Happy birthday to you, fella. How's your daughter going, mate? Kaz, is Hobo a Patreon member? Used to be. I don't know if he still is. But bad behaviour is bad behaviour. You know, if it brings down the chat, this is people's peacetime. You know, most people's work is finished for the year. They don't need to come in here and have the only person that ever comes to our channel starting shit. You know, maybe you need to go and take your medication, Happy Hobo. On my channel on Twitch has raised $275 in charity streams for Disabled Veterans America and $300 for soldiers on Hope to make someone's Christmas because we know the DVA VA won't. Mate, something beautiful happened today, Navy veteran. There was a Colonel Tackett from the USA, from the 75th Ranger Regiment, and they had a Ranger that has just died. His name was Michael, and a whole bunch of the blokes came together and took his ashes to go and watch the football game that he used to like, for the team he used to like. So they took his ashes to the game so he could be included, rest in peace, lest we forget. What a beautiful thing that is. Pretty cars, why would they take their foot off the accelerator driving this country into the ground? Why would they? Yeah, it is true. You know, if Albanese worked for a private company, he'd be sacked, you know. Probably a couple of days after he actually got in, to tell you the truth. Yeah, so change for 2025. Navy veteran, thank you so much for raising funds for the US, mate. Much appreciated. When you meet US soldiers, US sailors, etc., veteran knows about this. The courtesy that they give us is phenomenal. It really is. It's sometimes when you speak to Americans on social media, they ask why. You know, mind your own business, you come from Australia, whatever. Even when you say something nice at times, you know, they don't realise how intrinsically connected our two countries are. You know, that's a true statement right there. And we should always be wishing for a happy world, whether it's in Niger, whether it's in Sierra Leone, okay, whether it's in Brazil, okay, whether it's in Papua New Guinea, or whether it's Australia, you know, or China, or even North Korea. Who would like to see North Korea spoken to if Trump went in there and said, hey, mate, how about we unify South Korea and North Korea, you know, and slowly over a 4-year period, we strip back the 38th parallel, put in a military force, not American, not Australian, because we're still sort of classed at war with them, and then from there allow there to be some sort of education system that brings North Koreans back into the world model and gives them a chance. You know, is capitalism perfect? No, it's not, but it's better than what they've got over there. Simon took him down for 1,800 seconds, is it? Simon Powell, it's kind of sexy. He's a man of action. Who prefers the this setup or the Streamlabs setup? The one where we actually get your comments can appear on the bottom, etc. Now, let us know, team. You know, my community is 80% US veterans, active duty, and love serving with them. Get more respect from the US civilians than Australians. Yeah, I think Australians are very, very patriotic when someone tells them they're not. We're a lot more passive with it, you know. I don't think they don't have it. I think they absolutely do, but I just think that it's not on display. That's exactly right about COVID cases. Let's not forget that poor pregnant lady who was arrested during that time for a social media post. Is that what we call freedom of speech? Absolutely not. Or the times, even where they're restricted, there's not meant to be borders, you know, policed, etc. Though they were, where people couldn't turn up to funerals, etc. We've got a federal medical system, so I don't understand why the state stepped in there and prevented people from doing things. Troy Obbs, love using it. Love the yam. Okay, the wild potato, Adam. Sorry, guys, we're a little bit light on the fizz tonight. We've been on the phone basically all day, all night, from last night till today. And I just didn't want to tell you again, no, I can't make it. So that's why we're here today. Adam, me too. I'm glad Hubbo's gone. What a gronk. Okay. And Dwayne Duffy, how you going, mate? Now's probably a perfect time to let you know. We've got a few people in the trenches with Kaz. Dwayne Duffy, he's pretty crook at the moment, you know, and we've also got a few other fellas. We've got Steve Bryce. We haven't heard from him for a while. He's over in WA and he is not doing it well. He is not doing well. We've got also Scotty. He's doing pretty hard as well. Right. Joshy, how are you going these days, mate? Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, mate. It's been a while since we've actually spoken. You've told me how you're going, how you're sliding. Simon Powell had a much belated dinner with his daughter last night, and that was fucking great news as well. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Dwayne, we are. I would have given you a message today, but I didn't know if we were going to actually get on the stream because naturally we tried a different one here. If you're not subscribed, team, that's why you can't write a comment. So subscribe to the channel, see yourself come up on the screen, and become one of the tribe. Hey, Tyler, how you going, mate? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Sorry we've made you a zombie on the screen as well, mate. You're very welcome here. Tyler, hey, mate, I leave for basic training in March. Your videos are awesome. Keep up the great work. Tyler, that's fantastic. Again, for all those that are out there, if you need a military coach, bam, jump onto the bat phone. Happy to have you there. One-on-one conversations, plus you get invited to meetings on the Wednesdays and also the Fridays as one of the new openings up. We've got a fair few people here that were on last night, and it really went well. And testament to the people that turned up, they were very well behaved. So Tyler starts in March. What a massive year. Didn't realise I wasn't subscribed. Tyler, mate, what a big year you've got. We've got a fella in WA at the moment, poor bastard, doesn't get on very well with his family. They want all of his pay off him, and he was at the School of Infantry, just got sent from there back home for 7 weeks where he's around them, and they've already said to him, what can you do? What can you give us? Buy us dinner. And he doesn't have a car, so the poor bastard is stuck for his first ever leave for 7 weeks with a family that doesn't appreciate him in Western Australia in a heat wave. Other than that, most soldiers have gone home now partially through their training. It must be unbelievable, or if anything, infuriating when they go home and the people they worked with previously or went to school with find out they're going home for 7 weeks, fully paid leave, where you can't tell them to get off the Xbox, you can't tell them to get out of bed, because this is them just repairing from what they've been going through. Tyler's about to find out about that in 2025. And what are you going into, mate? What corps are you going into? Thumbs up for you. Bowen, any advice? I want to join the army, but I'm unsure if I should finish my apprenticeship first, but I really want to join. Bowen, Seychelles. There you go. What I strongly suggest to you, because you can do this wrong or you can do it right, for the price of a coffee, mate, follow the link from Simon will put in there now and jump on the bat phone, and you and I will have an hour's conversation, and like so many others, we'll get you in a position where you go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose action. I've got a second opinion. I know what I'm going in for now. I will help mold you towards the 3 choices that most suit your personality and your chances of having a successful future. We always tell you the truth here. When females come and we tell them don't go to infantry, quite often it's like, what do you mean? Until we have a phone call, and then they walk away from that phone call going, okay, totally agree. Thank you for letting me know, because DFR wasn't going to. Second time around submitting my paperwork, and I have a better looking job offer list. I'm waiting on medical call next. Yep, that's where some surprises can come out too, mate. Joshy, sorry I haven't been on the streams lately. I've been watching a lot of funky 5:30 and Ukraine stuff. Yep, sort of trying to cut it out and get back to Kazza streams. Mate, you do you. You do you. Guys and gals, what do you believe would be something that you would suggest or like to see for the Ukraine-Russia conflict? Take into account there is so many places around the world that you haven't heard the names of that are also in very, very bad positions at the moment. It's not just the ones that are on the top of the tongue, that are in the ears, that are getting pushed through the internet towards you. Haiti is absolutely copping it at the moment. Probably one of the worst places on earth at the moment. Ash Stageman, no heat wave in WA, it's windy. That's what the Indian said. Ding chilling. Simon Powell, if Hobo was boring you, why did you time him out? You could have blocked him or ignore him. Yeah. Peppers, good to have you here, Peppers. Evening team. Been chilling. Also, why not engage in an argument against him? That would have been fun. there's an element of that too, Bing, but there seems to be a bit of a theme with Hobo. He comes on, he lets loose, and it just doesn't end, mate. Brady, and as you know, I basically read out almost every comment, so sometimes I don't realise what I'm about to read. Brady, finish apprenticeship first, then enlist. Don't quit anything. I'd normally say that too, but if you finish it and then you go to the military and you do that for the next 40 years, you know, now what are we going to do, right? It depends what you want to do when you get into the military. You know, if you're going to get an apprenticeship, if you've just finished school, I would strongly consider joining the military and doing an apprenticeship, because not only will the tradesmen treat you with more respect than a lot of tradesmen will, but you'll never be treated like a first-year apprentice, second-year apprentice, etc. You'll get in, you'll be a soldier first, apprentice second, you know, on the adult wages. You'll be on the same wage as what you are in the Corps. Yep. And then from there, you'll be part of engineers most of the time as well. You can skill tree from that, and that'll also give you heavy rigid licenses, transport courses, DMEO as well, and possibly even go and do an apprenticeship as a carpenter or an electrician and then come out as a dog handler. Who knows? Who knows? Doors open when you go to the military. Simon Powell. Chilling, I want to give him the opportunity to learn and contribute. There you go. Peppers. Smash the like button, team. Navy veteran. It's not our problem. Yep. Yeah. As sad as it sounds, it's a border dispute. Okay, Bing and everyone here likes free speech so much, but doesn't like it when it affects them. Are you his mates, are you, Bing? Budgelicious. Recommend enough spell check. You're stitching me up. Get on that bat phone. Help me immensely. Look forward to starting training with Kaz on my team. Budgie. You know, I had to wear budgie smugglers for my actual fitness course to become a combat fitness leader. I'll never wear those again. You know, I don't even wear them to bed. Anyway, doing infantry, any tips, mate? I've got a lot of tips for you, Tyler. I've got a lot of tips for you. Again, first one would be get on the bat phone. You know, former 3 times instructor at the School of Infantry. You know, I'm the sort of guy that you're going to be looking at, talking to for the next year. Having said that, your tips is basically just go in there and it's about attitude. It's about meeting the scores of the BFA, not of the PFA. You know, and although that is just a litmus test to see whether you actually have a capability, you know, it really comes down to toughness. If you've played sport before, you know basically what you're capable of. If you've played AFL, especially, you know, then you know what it's like to be in adverse conditions, but then still keep playing for 4 quarters. You know, it should be a summer game, shouldn't it? Cricket should be a winter game. Completely confusing Australian sports. It doesn't make sense to see someone in slacks and long sleeve shirts and a hat that looks like you're from Indiana Jones, you know, only 50 metres from a beach with perfect waves. It doesn't make sense at all. Blakey, the Ukraine war is at a stalemate, yep, in which it has been a war of attrition for over a year now, absolutely. It's also a class war where only certain people from Ukraine are expected to fight, and that's disgusting. We'll win the war with attrition, especially since Trump won't send as much support. Absolutely. Part 1 concluded. Brady says, think about using your trade in the service, example, fitter armour. The problem would be, Brady, that if he could not give a shit about a trade anymore and he's decided I did that because I didn't know what else to do, and in actual fact, I'd rather be in aviation, or I'd rather be in armoured corps, you know, or I'd rather be in infantry, or I'd rather be in signals. You know, we make changes with our life, and sometimes, you know, it's at great cost to how we started. You know, the amount of people we have that started in university, halfway through a university course, and then they decide, when they look around a room when they're doing a lecture, these aren't the kind of people that I want to be around for the rest of my life at all. How do I get out of here? My parents are the ones that wanted me to go to university. What am I going to do? Okay. Who am I going to disappoint? Yeah, it's a tough one. Should there be university degrees done for officers? Absolutely not. But it should be part of a system. It shouldn't be given to officers, But what it should be given to is soldiers or officers when they're getting out of the military. Then they should get sponsorship onto university courses because they're going to know exactly who they are. And it's more likely that someone who's 26 is going to be successful at university as opposed to someone who's 18. And that's a fact, Jack, if your name's Jack. Hey, Kaz, if someone takes everything you own and your neighbours say, let them have it, would you like that? It's got nothing to do with liking, mate. It's got nothing to do with liking. You know, Ukraine cannot win this war. And if by now that they'd actually had the support from NATO, which they'll never be allowed to join because you're not allowed to join while you're in a conflict with another nation, they would have known by now. You know, other people would have got involved. When the writing is on the wall, but you're losing your whole youngest generation, you know, and even dropping conscription lower and lower, piecemealing the younger people, it's an absolute nightmare, mate. It's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, and already, you know, some of these guys are destroyed for life. Yeah, a lot of them, you know. Being saying not as noisy of a pet as people would think. Which pet's that? A pet cocky. That's a tough one, Bing, because a cocky can live for up to 70 years, can't they? Blake, part 2. In my opinion, I believe Ukraine should concede territory and make a condition that if there's any further hostility, Ukraine gets immediate entrance into NATO. That is a that's a point. But remember, also NATO also broke all their rules and moved east towards Russia, which they actually said they were never going to do. And the whole point about NATO is about the encroachment of Russia into West, into Europe, etc. So the whole point it exists, you know, is it doesn't make sense to me that Russia would also go into Ukraine and then make it an absolute a definite that they're now about to share a border if they had successfully taken Ukraine and then had a hard border with NATO. None of it makes sense. What's the link where I can have a chat with you, legend? Okay, Simon Powell's put that just below you. Jump on there, mate. Go to the Black Legion. Join up. I'll send you my phone number directly. This phone is just for you. And we'll be very interested to see people like yourself and if Tyler jumps on, speaking on a Wednesday or a Sunday night where people drop ranks but give you the advice from being an older guy, people that have been in that position. Last night, I won't say their names, we had a doctor last night. Okay, we had someone from corporate industry as well, former warrant officer. We had a whole bunch of people in there and it was fantastic. All of them liked it. Everyone got something from it, including myself. And I don't think there is another man-shared version of what we do. It was a great thing. And we don't record any of it, and it gets deleted as soon as it's done, so there's no chance it comes back on you. Blake says, hey, Adam, I said if hostility continued after peace. Okay, Adam says 13 for the right. Hey, could win the war. They have support France, and I think Germany or Poland stated they will send troops if massive land grabs are done by Ivan. No, they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to do anything under Article 15 of NATO. They're not allowed to do it. Yep. Cockies can live up to 80. There you go. Screaming bastards. Yeah, galahs are annoying too. If you've been in an area where, like Singleton, where there's thousands of them, there's nothing cute about them, you know. But when there's one of them, you know, they're very interesting. It says a lot about the people that own them too by some of the things they say. Jake, spelt wrong, says the instructors at Kapuka often talk more about conflict with China rather than Russia / Ukraine since I've been there so far. Yep. It is I don't think there's much chance of that. I think economically, I love the fact that Xi Jinping is allowed to go to the swearing in of 47. I think that's a good step of keeping people at the table, having a conversation. I think BRICS is going to be attacked economically and tariffed, so there's not a parallel grab at the petrodollar. That's going to make things interesting too. By taking Crimea back, Russia gained quicker transport for their ships. That is true. And what it allows them to do is economically get on with trade. You know, the sooner you make them a friend, you know, the border dispute ends, you know, and hopefully they will match dollar for dollar with NATO for making Ukraine feel like they're about to get the support that they didn't get, and then they can build back Ukraine to be great again. Remember, Ukraine has been absolutely war ravaged for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. They're in a fault line between different cultures where those poor bastards deserve a break. You know, and they're very gallant, but I think there's also going to be a little civil war that happens in Ukraine as well. I love, Wingy says, I love the chat last night, Kaz. I got stuff out of it too. It's good when you're as old as us, Wingy, to actually walk away from a conversation, being able to listen to the youth, being able to listen to each other and come away and go, holy shit, I didn't know that. I learned a lot. It's a good thing. Hey, mate, is it true the Chocos don't meet the regular Army BFA standards? No, that's not true. If so, it personally doesn't sound like a worthwhile experience. No, it's the same. It's exactly the same standards for Arms Corps, non-Arms Corps, with regular Arms Corps, regular non-Arms Corps. Remembering that one of the things that I believe that should happen there, Future 2RR, sorry, he says, fantastic. What I believe is every Army Reserve unit, where possible, should be billeted by a regular unit that actually they can go to and apply to go and spend a month. For example, someone from an Army Reserve Infantry unit in Brisbane should be able to go with 8, 9 or 6 RAR if they're fully qualified within their initial employment training and weapon systems. Sure, there's going to be training shortfalls, but let them go out and passively have osmosis with an infantry regular battalion, and over time, you won't be able to spot the difference between them and the regular soldiers. Yep. Jack, definitely winged up. Me too. Jack was there last night as well. It's always been putting faces to names. The one thing I loved about it, Jack, is when we talked last night, you understood the context in what people were saying. If it had been a written comment, sometimes the context is lost. But last night, that wasn't the case. You understood that people were saying and disagreeing at times with things, but you could tell by their facial expression and the way they delivered it and the clarity of their voice that it wasn't said with aggression. It was said with, okay, a robustness of ideas, and I like that. It's kind of funny how Hobo was banned for talking his mind, but everyone here supports free speech. Mate, there's a difference between free speech and being a pest, isn't there? You know, and this is not Hobo's first rodeo, mate. He's come on here before and actually had meltdowns before, so maybe there was a little bit of residual less tolerance. Maybe that was what happened. Brady, don't think Kapurka instructors would be high in the intel stakes, in intelligence stakes. Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are very. You got to remember, the instructors at Kapurka, they're from every corps. They're from intelligence. They're from signals. They're from, at times, special forces. They're from infantry. They're from artillery. They're from aviation. They're from cavalry. They're from every corps. This is just a 2-year, it used to be 3-year stint they'd go down there. And the only way you used to get there was to be at the highest level of instruction. Hey, stage man, how you going, buddy? What do you think about Syria? Oh, we've got to keep watching that one, mate. I don't think that's going to end. I don't think it's going to end well, my man. Team, if this is your first time here and you want to write a comment, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll flash up as an alert that you've joined our channel. You'll be up in our subscribe up there, you know, and gets close to that 200 by January. But again, my point stands. What are we talking about here? Chilling, yeah, and it's the government's country, but all of a sudden it's different. Yeah, but it's the government's country, but all of a sudden it's different. I'm sorry, mate. I don't know what you mean. Joshy, I don't know what you were talking about. What are we trying to listen to? Kaz, not Hobo. Okay. What's that, Bing? We the people. But again, my point stands. Okay. Bing sounds a little like Hobo. We are here to hear the work of Kaz. Thanks, Bowbird. You know, bowerbirds are meant to be the loud ones, aren't they? Joshy, Signals. Future tour area. What's Hobo? I'm new to the Kaz channel. Law, mate. Okay, so Happy Hobo is a fella. You know, I've spoken to him before on the bat phone. He's been on the Patreon. I'm not sure if he's still on there. I haven't checked tonight. But there's basically what's happened is he's had a meltdown a few times. You know, it hasn't made sense a lot of the time. And, yeah, you know, he just got timed out. Hey, Senor Bowen, thank you very much. I'll be sending you some phone numbers in a moment. And we can even speak tonight if you want to, my man. When you first jump on, team, hey, Leo, how you going? We all love a lion. Got on listen day in March. Any tips? I've got some tips for you, Jack. There's people above you that are going in March as well. What battalion are you going to? Oh, sorry, what unit are you going to? I won't make assumptions there, sir. I'm fine, Leo. My medical situation seems to be getting a lot better. For those that don't know, I've been in and out of hospital for 2 years now. Went to India, swam in the Ganges, and now I'm in harm's way. But I feel like I'm coming out of it. I'm getting ready to go and do a trip up north, go and get myself in some water, go and visit a whole bunch of people that deserve a visit. And then from there, back to normal, make some changes, see if we need a second channel, see if we need to evolve, etc. You know, but everything we do is trying to make life a little bit better for you in this channel. Because I can tell you one thing, you know, we are in a shambles, you know, with modern technology, multimedia, social media, etc. The one thing that is scary to me is people will say, go and make sure, go and do your homework before you have an opinion on things. But this is one of the times in society that we know now that you can spend months, literally months, studying a subject and not realise that all you did was study misinformation for months. And then what happens is you become a zealot to what you listen to. Now, I like to listen to every side of the argument. I like to listen to the left-leaning meltdowns, you know, where you hear the emotional side of an argument, you know, and policy. And I like to hear the conservative side, which too often gets called extreme right wing. And you go, no, even as a centralist, you might as well be wearing a white hood these days in their eyes. Hey, we've got a Western Australian there, one of our favourite subscribers, Cam, Patreon member, who's in Western Australia driving, listening to all of yous at the moment. Hey, Bullfrog, it's been a while. G'day, mate. How are you? Leo, I'm glad to hear your health is good, Kaz. Mate, I never thought my anus was going to get attacked by Crohn's disease. You know, as an infantry soldier that had teased, you know, Navy guys my entire life. So maybe I earned it, eh? Foxy, when your afternoon 20-minute nap turns into 2 hours, good evening, team. Foxy, one thing I can tell you is, same with Dwayne, one of the best things that I've actually found if you oversleep in the afternoon is a thing called Restovit. It is a sleeping pill you can buy across, and I'm not trying to recommend drugs here, team, but if you have ruminating thoughts, if you have a problem with sleeping, you know, if you're out of whack, if you're sick, if you're hungover, one Restovit tablet, you know, if you take it at 9 o'clock at night, by half an hour, you're going to feel like you've had a stroke, and you don't come out of the fog till 3 o'clock the next day. So before you take it, make sure that you already have a cleared calendar for anywhere up to 3 o'clock the following day. Joshy Fawns, I'm off to do a quick workout. No worries, Joshy. Let's talk soon. Much respect, Kaz and team. Talk soon. Merry Christmas, Joshy, if we don't talk before then. Dwayne Duffy, it works. There we go. Leo, Navy guys must have snuck into the barracks when you were sleeping. I could have been Roger Ramjetted. You're right. The golden rivet could have been manipulated or stimulated. You know, but I like to think I'd know. I didn't wake up with the rose or chocolates beside me. Man from down under. G'day, fellas. G'day, mate. You know, Dwayne Duffy. I have 3 a night. 3 Restovits. If I had 3 of those, mate, I'd look like Biden trying to run upstairs. Get to the nets. Panzer. I'm going to try and join the Royal Australian Armoured Corps next year. Was always fascinated with the Australian Armoured Corps. I never would have guessed that with a name like Panzer, my mate. You know, you sort of gave it away. Alex, what have you done there? Okay, did that come across then as a, did the alerts go up? Wait a second. Okay, for those who can see over there, Alex, I don't know what I did to deserve that. $30. You know, what you're going to get there now is a little bit of a homage to yourself. And we're going to give you the Kraken and a Nutsu cow. So this is for Alex. This is a bit of lore from the channel team. Well done, thank you, mate.
It's a Kraken. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Thank you very much, and I'll give you a Nutsu cow as well.
Nutsu cow. Nutsu cow.
Thank you very much, Alex. That'll go towards my daughter's
I accept.
tuition when she gets older. For some reason, this is not amalgamating down here with the raw chicken allowance. You know, Alex, what did we do to deserve your financial assistance there, my friend? You know, tell us something wise and witty. Bullfrog, not bad, Kaz. Good to see you doing well. I've just been trying to test and adjust to it. We're figuring out what I want to do now. Okay. We need to have another talk soon, Bullfrog, don't we? Can we get some thumbs up for Alex too for supporting the channel there? You know, give yourself a bit of thumbs up too, team. You know, you've all given me time tonight, and that's something that we're very blessed to have, you know, is that people are willing to take time out and come to a channel and actually listen where they don't get a chance to talk. If you want to talk, Wednesday nights, Sunday nights, come and join Patreon. Bam. We look forward to hearing what you've got to say about any issue. Mr. Bowen, just joined up, mate. Keen to have a chat. And I've got you there, Mr. Bowen, and I will be sending you a message as soon as we get off this stream, and we'll see you when you want to have a chat. Pretty Cars, like the survivalist that died, we were commenting about Kaz. People would have been taking his advice. He died filming a survival video. Shit sakes. Which one was that about? Which one was that one, Brady? There was just a poor gentleman, a YouTuber, that just got taken, kidnapped and killed in Philippines, which is very sorry to hear. Sorry for radio's silence, says the Bullfrog. I want to try and give you a call in a couple of days to give you an update. Absolutely. I'd appreciate that, mate. Jenny G, well done, Alex. Yes, thank you, Alex. Dwayne Duffy, Alex, Merry Christmas, Kaz. Finally on my way to infantry. Adios, Army Plumber. Lots of laugh. I love it. So, infantry. It is one of those careers where you forget you're in the military. It just becomes who you are. It's fantastic. You know, there's Brady with 3 hands there. That means there's someone standing behind him at the urinal. Blakey Smith says, have you had a lot of contact with the Brits in your service? Not particularly. I've had a lot with Americans, a lot with Kiwis, and a lot with Canadians. I heard that the British Armed Forces are severely under strength to the point that if there's a war, they wouldn't be able to commit. That's almost every foreign force, mate, every Western force. As the estrogen goes up in Western cultures, okay, the volunteers are going down. There's options. You know, what happens when someone makes $1 million in 3 weeks on crypto and they're 19 years old? They're not about to join the army, are they? We're living in a topsy-turvy world, my friend. Rexy40, g'day, legend. Got my son coming home from Christmas. Mum doesn't know. This is going to be beautiful. She drilled me today about flying to Townsville's. Lots of laughs. She thinks he didn't get leave. Going to be tears on Wednesday. I hope she's not watching now, Rex. Mate, the sad thing is, although he's coming home, you don't get to go to Townsville and have the Cactus Jacks, the best authentic Mexican food in Australia. Leo, could someone join infantry if they only completed year 9? No. How old are you now, Leo? What they can do is they can send you off to go and do a conversion sort of course or a bridging course at TAFE, and that will get you your year 10, those scores, and then from there you still have to pass the aptitude test, mate. I'm sure there's a story, Leo. Brady says he was doing a survival video in northern Sweden and got caught up in a blizzard with no hope of rescue. Dude, that would have been slow too, wouldn't it, Brady? Always find time to get there. Yeah, Rexy. Absolutely. You must be very, very proud indeed. You know, well, too often we forget about what a great thing it is for the parents of actual soldiers. You know, quite often when they turn up, it can be the first time a daughter or son ever actually sees tears in their father's eyes. It's a beautiful thing to see as the child realises, you know, how proud their parents are, and that what they're doing has actually changed the life and the what would you call it, the journey of that family forever. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Tim, we've already been on here for an hour and 5 minutes. What the hell? Blake Smith, Leo, you will need to do a Cert 2 in adult education. I got a D in one subject in year 10 and I had to do it. There you go, Blakey. Yeah. It's funny because school is a memory game only. That's what it is. Curriculum about something you'll never need in your life a lot of the time, you know, but if you don't get that right, you're done. Who gives a shit about the circumference of a circle, you know, if you're not going to go and do a trade but not learn about compound interest? It doesn't make sense. Now, Panzer wants to go to Armoured Corps. Yeah, I'm going to join after year 12. My pop was in the Ordnance Corps in the 80s. Best 9 years of his life, he says. You know, and there's something sad in that comment, Panzer. The best 9 years of his life. Why did he get out? Why did he get out? We see so many people get out and then they've got, hey, Rexy, so many people get out and then they spend the rest of their life thinking, why did I get out? What have I done? You know? Yeah, it's a tough one, mate. It really is. Simon Powell, future 2RR Black Legion. Adam says 3RR. 3RR are based in Townsville. 5-7 are in Darwin. You know, they're going to be sharing the nightclub strip with 16,000 Marines soon, which is going to make it very hard for those with an Australian accent with the ladies. You know, and then you've got Townsville 1, 2 and 3RR. And then you've got 6 and 8, 9 in Brisbane. Before we get out of here, let me tell you something very, very bizarre that happened. One of our subscribers, this is an amazing story. When I got off the conversation on Patreon with the forum, a fella rang me up. It was like 10:30 at night, and he'd been sent home on leave, and he was letting me know, and he sounded like he was being emotional. I thought, what the hell's going on here? So this is a testament. I won't say his name. And basically he's saying that when he joined the military, he went from his civilian life that he wasn't happy with, joined the military, and what happened was the guy that he'd done the PFA with, all that sort of shit, he didn't know him, ended up being at his oath of affirmation. They went to Kapuka and ended up in the same room beside each other, the school shooter, laying beside you, open mouth, mouth breather, eye half open, staring at you because no one looks at the wall because that'd be homo. And from there, that guy ended up bringing his missus to the march out, his roommate. So he ended up basically starting a relationship with her mate. And then they went to the School of Infantry. And now these two guys, the thickest thieves, ended up in the same platoon, same section. And now they've gone to the same battalion, same platoon, same section. And both of them have got these two girls as their partners. It sounds like Officer and Gentleman. Really bizarre thing. This guy is like he was born to be this guy's twin. It's amazing. I hope it continues. Leo, do year 10 at the TAFE. Yeah. Bowerbird, I'm 42 and only completed year 9. They said, and that was a common thing back then too, wasn't it, mate? And only completed year 9. They said, so far, it shouldn't be a problem. And he wants to go for Army Reserve driver. And a lot of that, Bowerbird, would be because you have working experience, you know, where now it'll come down to how do you go in the aptitude test. And if you unlock that, you should be fine. Righto? Remember when they say, we were speaking to Blake today on the bat phone, And we're basically discussing when they tell you to go away and get some life experience, sometimes it's because you don't have enough life tracked, where they can see if you have problems with impulse control, whether you are going to make mistakes, because maybe they sense there's something about you that might still be a bit wild card, a bit immature. So that's the reason why they say go away and get some experience. Give you more time to hang yourself, so to speak. 42. Adam. Army needs you. The army needs people. They need to keep the social engineering out of it. That's for sure. Because they do need people. They need the right people. They need good people. Simon says, Bowerbird, prospecting, have a yarn with Wingnut. Yeah, Wingnut is in the chat. Yep. I will tell you something about Bowerbird. Everyone I know that has joined the military, Army Reserve, in their 40s, the conversations I have with them, their life has completely changed. All of a sudden, the rev meter, the engine's back on, and it's starting to push that brake dust off the wheels, and they're mobile again. They're running with the pack. They're getting fit again. They're taking pride in themselves. They've got new buddies replacing some of the mouse wheel of life, and you can hear in their voice they become a completely different person. Just like when people go to SES and they've saved a life, etc. It's great to see. Simon Powell, Kaz, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, we're going to get out of here now. Thank you for this tonight. Thank you very much, Alex, for funding this this stream tonight. I'll jump off now. I'll say, what time is it? It's 8:42. I'm going to go and have a look at the Patreon members that have just come on. I'm going to send them a message. I'll have communications with them tonight. And hopefully in the next day or so, I'm going to be putting out a video about wisdom, things that I'd do right now if I was 20 years old, coming from a 50-year-old guy, 54-year-old guy. So, team, do not make the mistakes that we make. And one of the biggest mistakes is not listening to the people our age. Because I'm sure that Bowerbird can tell you this, and so can Simon Powell, Brady Cars, etc. The one thing I wish I could do is go back and talk to some of those soldiers from World War I before they actually passed away, World War II before they passed away. Talk to the elders. Ask your father. Tell me a little bit of wisdom, Dad. Teach me something. And I'll teach the same thing to my kid one day. What a beautiful legacy. Information, something that guides your life, gives you meaning. So, HD, how's it, Kaz? Looking better every day. I'm starting to feel better, mate. I don't feel as much like the lesbian ghoul anymore. I did a piss take, full online submission for Aggie. 48 called me non-stop. I like that one. Hey, Kane, how you going, mate? Just enlisted in infantry reserves. Love your vids. Kane, did you get the cane at school? Did you kill Abel? Mate, how old are you, Kane? And one bit of advice, my man. If that's your actual name, change that to some sort of pseudonym, etc. Some sort of other name. Because naturally, when we start to represent ourselves as military members online, it can come back to hurt us. You haven't said anything wrong, but just to protect you in the future, my man. John, up at Laverick Barracks now, Kaz, how good is that swimming pool? It's one of the best swimming pools in Australia. We're in RTP at the moment. That's their leave period team. I go on leave in a week, but enjoy the regiment so far. Absolutely, John. John's a beautiful name. That was the name of my brother that passed away. This is your first ever Christmas being in the military? How much has life changed since 2023, man? Yeah. Once you've been in the military, Air Force, Army, Navy, there's no going back. Your life has been changed forever. I've seen that lady buy a plate with a blue bull 3 times tonight so far. Brady Cars, I've seen that lady buy a plate with a blue bull 3 times tonight. Was that an ad, was it? What job did you do in the Army, says Panzer. We're going to come up with some good ideas for the Chief of the Defence Force, Army, Air Force and Navy to listen to as well. Because I tell you, the answers are in front of their faces, but they don't get a chance to speak to the common man. And they're probably thinking, hey, how can we make this the best possible institution we can? And, all they need is a little bit of generic information, that can go a long way, not just kicking them while they're down, saying this is not as good as it used to be or whatever. Give solutions and we might be able to make a difference. Dwayne Duffy, we're going to get out of here, my man. I hope you feel better. Swim John, little Christmas cake. Kane says, we'll do. Cheers for advice. I'm 19. He was only 19. I was only 19 as well, Kane, when I joined. I was 58 kilos. Guys and gals, let's get out of here. Hit the like if you did. Welcome to tonight. Sorry there was a little bit of friction at the bottom of the stream. But you know what? I can't stop what you type, can I? Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Brady. The guys in the blue are our moderators, you know, our sheriffs, so to speak, to make sure that you have a good experience and that you don't feel like you come on here and just face chaos, considering that can be what's in our normal life. The green represents the people that are members, you know, as they go in there, and you can see by their ranks, some are Lance Corporals, some are privates, some are senior sergeants. You're all welcome, but just make sure you subscribe, join the team. We like to see it pop up on the screen that you've joined us, and know that once you get here, we're one of the only actual YouTube channel that engages with you the way we do now. Yeah. So have a good one. Merry Christmas is coming. I hope Santa empties his sack all over you. See you later, Adam. See you later, Future Tour. You know that's my battalion there, my man. And it's also a stepping stone to Special Forces. See you later, Brady, you know, Dwayne, Simon Powell, all the usuals. You know, have a good day, guys. And, you know, I wouldn't be back to do this channel if there wasn't people like you around. So have a good day. And tomorrow, let the heat wave get us all. And if you're in Laverick Barracks, then get in that goddamn pool because it's amazing. Back to you too there, Dwayne. See you later, team. What are we doing here? I don't even know how to turn this off now. Right, here we go. See you later. Konnichiwa. And before you go, where are we? Nutsukel, the White Warrior. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head.
I accept.
Pulled my trigger, now he's dead.